Okay, so in the summer of 2019, I had the opportunity to travel to Greece and got to witness the unique experience of the changing of the guard in front of the Greek Parliament building in Athens. Like many changing of the guard ceremonies across the world, most are unique because of the attention to detail, individual discipline of the soldiers, their historical backgrounds, and because they are done constantly 24/7. Now, this Greek special unit is called the Evzones and is the official presidential guard, which was formed in 1868, whose duty is to protect the Greek parliament, the tomb of the unknown soldier, and the presidential mansion. While the duty is ceremonial in nature, each individual soldier does this rotation 3 times every 48 hours and must stand perfectly still until the changing of the guard occurs. Individuals tapped for this role come from the Hellenic Infantry Corps, and the training lasts about a month where the individual is trained to perform the motions up to the point where they are not to move his eyes or show any facial expressions whatsoever. Now, the changing of the guards I'm showing you here happens every hour, with the longer ceremonial performance done on Sundays at 11 a.m., which involves more movements and is a more ceremonial process in nature. What's even crazier is that the steps taken during the changing of the guard are done in such a fashion to ensure proper blood circulation when they begin moving again. Standing this still for so long will take a physical toll on your body, needless to say. So, when the Presidential Guard selects candidates for this role, they do so based on height, physical conditions, and your mental stability. Not only for physical continuity reasons, but also because of the mental condition required for the ceremonial procedures. The uniform they usually wear during the Sunday ceremony historically comes from the period of the Greek War of Independence from the Ottoman Empire in 1821, but on all other days their uniforms resemble what Greek soldiers wore during the Macedonian struggle in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. The brown is the summer color, while the blue is worn in winter. Now, the name and composition of the Guard has changed many times since its founding in 1868. Originally, it was called an escort guard, then renamed to the Palace Guard in 1913 by King Constantine I, then to Guard Company of the President of the Republic in 1924 after the abolition of the monarchy, and then to Royal Guard after the restoration of the monarchy in 1935. During the German occupation of Greece during World War II, it was allowed to continue under the name Flag Guard. But even after the conclusion of the war, the monarchy was again reconfirmed by a referendum in 1946, so the name changed back to Royal Guard. Then, when the monarchy was abolished for good in 1974, then it was named the Presidential Guard, which is what it continues to be named to this day. So there was a lot of different names that this unique guard was given. Beyond guarding the Parliament, Presidential Palace, and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, the Presidential Guard also performs its duties for state visits, parades, and other honorary needs. What is also notable about the uniform is the individual guards are carrying M1 Garand rifles. As a refresher, the M1 Garand was the main battle rifle adopted by the United States military before World War II, and the first semi-automatic rifle adopted by any army as its main infantry weapon. While by the end of World War II, the U.S. began arming its allies and nations within its spheres of influence with M1 Garand rifles as military aid. They were produced in large quantities and were extremely well built. And so the Greeks, along with South Korea, Denmark, Philippines, Norway, Ethiopia, and many other countries received many of these M1 Garand rifles as military aid. In fact, the Greeks ended up using M1 Garands as their mainline infantry weapon until 1991. Suppose there wasn't a large urgency to switch out rifles, so switching out their main infantry rifle can be a costly endeavor for a lot of nations, so keeping the supply that you have in use and circulation was a decision they made, and of course to this day they still use the M1 Garand in their ceremonial purposes, which is, I think, a really interesting factoid as someone who likes and loves M1 Garand rifles. Anyway, this is just a short clip of the ceremony I captured when I was in Athens in 2019, and I hope you enjoyed this short narrative on the Greek Presidential Guard.